Ma'am, interesting, ma'am.
Hmm?
Interesting.
I can't. You're not clear.
ম্যাম ভালোই লাগছে ম্যাম।
ভাল লাগছে না কেন?
ম্যাম ভালো লাগছে বলছি।
ও ভালো লাগছে।
হ্যাঁ।
Good morning, ma'am.
গুড মর্নিং। ভালো নাও লাগতে পারে না, এটা এরকম করে তো আর ঠিক মজা আসে না না ক্লাসে। একটা ফেস টু ফেস সবাই মিলে একটা ডিসকাশন হলো, এ হলো, কথাবার্তা হলো, চেনা জানা হলো।
Yes, ma'am.
দ্যাট মেক্স এ ভেরি বিগ ডিফারেন্স।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম, হ্যাঁ ম্যাম ঠিক বলছেন এটা।
Hope you will be able to meet আমাদের সিনিয়র ব্যাচদের তো আর মিটই হলো না। এই করতে করতেই ওদের তখন মানে টাইম এসে যাবে ফর প্লেসমেন্ট এন্ড অল দিস থিংস। আই ডোন্ট নো।
1 2 3 4 চারটে মাস হলো।
Physically হলে ইটস আ ফান। From the last class, do you have anything to ask? Anything to discuss? I don't think it will be any problem will be arising because things are easy. But if you have something, your own thoughts, your own thoughts or something, your own ideas, views, because you may not, for some reason, you are not able to agree with whatever is being taught or what we are discussing. You may not be agreeing with that
ডিপ্লোমা ইন কম্পিউটার
because of your
অ্যাপ্লিকেশন
own thoughts, different
সেই 1 বছর ধরে
ideas.
শিখছি 2 বছর হয়ে গেছে দাদা
So,
ওটা লকডাউন করেছে
if
বন্ধ
you
হয়ে
have
যাবে
got anything to clear,
আমার
we
গঙ্গার
can
ঘাটে
do it.
গঙ্গার কাছে
তুই সকাল থেকে তুই যে টাইপ বললি টাইপ আছে না টাইপ কার টাইপ করছিস
পার করছেন কি
So, I think so. We should can start now.
করতে বললো
কোনটা বললাম
So, today we will be doing
তখন আমার
the
কাছে হেল্পের
principle
লড়াই
of
হচ্ছে না তখন ওদের 10টা বাজে হবে বাবা টাইপ তখন দিতে
আমি তো সকালে করে এলাম বললাম তো তখন আমার সঙ্গে আসলাম এর কাছেই
Abhijit Shah. So, let's start. So, principles of Indian ethos of management. So, basically, what does this refer? It refers to the values and the practice. There's someone again, someone again. Soumya Mandal.
আত্মনা
Soumya Mandal. Just
infinite happiness and infinite come to
Priyanka Mahato.
Tesam Sukam Tesam Santi
Priyanka.
Saswati.
Again, coming back to the slide. So, it basically this our management principles which are based on the Indian ethos. It refers or it tells us about the values and the practices that what it says that the culture of India, that means we say the Bharatiya Sanskriti. So it can contribute to the service, leadership, management, and all these things. And these values and the practices, they are deeply rooted in the Dharma. Sanatan Dharma, we say. So the basic principles. So this includes includes honesty, morality. Just wait somewhere. Vicky Yadav. Disappeared again. So this includes basically the morality, the responsibility, the honesty, and so on. Okay. So the Indian ethos for management means that the application of the principles of management that are revealed in our ancient or the sacred books. It is the Bible, Quran, Gita, Upanishad, and so on. So the management is behavioral science basically, and it has to be culture specific. What is management? It is the behavior basically, how you behave. Indian ethos for management has its basis, the culture base of India, and its root actually is our culture. We conclude or we learn the lessons from the different religion, whatever the religion may be. It may be Hinduism, it may be Buddhism, it may be Christianity, anything. And basic ideas and thoughts are actually applicable, which are revealed in this ancient script and all these things are applicable even today. One second.
ম্যাম একটা নয়েজ আসছে ম্যাম আপনার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড থেকে।
সবাই কি নয়েজ আসছে?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
হ্যাঁ?
Yes, ma'am.
আরে হ্যাঁ,
কি করে নয়েজ আসছে?
তো আপনি কি হেডফোনে কথা বলছেন?
না, কিচ্ছু না, আমি কোনো কথাই বলি না, ফোনটা দূরে আছে, একটা ফ্যান চলছে, ফ্যানের একটু আওয়াজ আছে, সেটা তো লাস্ট ক্লাসেও ছিল। হ্যাঁ, এখনো আসছে?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
ম্যাম কম আসছে।
না এবার
কি জানি।
হুম,
ফ্যানের একটু আওয়াজ, ফ্যানটা
ঠিক আছে ম্যাম,
আওয়াজ
ঠিক আছে, প্রবলেম নেই।
Okay. So, and all these basic ideas, these are revealed in the ancient script or the culture, whatever the thing is. It may be from the Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, whatever it is. And we find that they are still applicable in this today's world, their management for managing the organization and all. So, coming to that, what are they? So, the first one is, you say it is Atmano Moksharatam Jagat Hitash. So here it means that all the work is an
ম্যাম এটার
opportunity.
মানেটা একটু বলবেন?
বলছি তো, এটা তো লেখাই আছে, মানে তুমি যা কাজ করছো, এটা একটা অপরচুনিটি, যে তুমি you are doing good to the society, you are doing good to the world, and by doing this you are gaining materialistically, you are also gaining. যেমন তুমি ভালো কাজ কিছু করছো, হ্যাঁ, ভালো কাজ মানে কি, তুমি হয়তো চাকরিতেই যেটা করছো, suppose you are doing something, so you are, or you are doing social work, whatever you are doing, তুমি ডাক্তারি করছো, তুমি লয়ারের কাজ করছো, if you do it in a good way, so কি হবে, you can earn from it, পয়সা রোজগার করতে পারছো, তোমার সোসাইটিতে একটা নাম হচ্ছে, you are getting respect, so and because of this you are getting much more material things, তোমার নাম ডাক হয়েছে, you get more, if you are a doctor you are getting more patient, if you are a lawyer you are getting more this thing, কোনো NGO তে আছো, NGO টাতে আছে, so this material, and
ঠিক
even
আছে।
spiritually তোমার upliftment হয়, because you are doing, the last class এ করেছিলাম, whatever you do, if you do it wholeheartedly means if you enjoy the work, if you do it honestly, if you take the responsibility properly, then actually spiritually you are uplifted. One second, someone is there, one's entry. Naam Ayantika. And Baba yaro ache. Ayantika Bardhani. Abhinandan Rai. Abhinandan Rai. Again, going back to this. So it is said that whatever you do, you should do it in a sincerely, honestly, wholeheartedly, not doing grumbling way. So if you are not liking the work, ভালো লাগছে না কাজ করতে, কিন্তু করতে হচ্ছে, তখন কি হয়, তা কাজটা ভালো হয়, কাজটা ভালো না হলে কি হবে, হোয়াটএভার ইউ আর ডুইং, আউটপুটটা ভালো হবে, এই আউটপুটের উপরে বেস করে হয়তো অর্গানাইজেশনের প্রফিট, তোমার স্যালারি, কিংবা তোমার ইনক্রিমেন্ট, তোমার প্রমোশন, এভরিথিং ইট ডিপেন্ডস অন দ্যাট, না? সো মেটেরিয়ালিস্টিক ওয়ে ইফ ইউ সে, and spiritually if you say you are irritated, you start misbehaving, ভালো লাগছে না করতে, you don't like it, You are doing it just say তোমার boss তখন তোমাকে he will be মানে saying bad words to you, that again upsets you. So overall মানে তখন you don't feel it. So that is, it brings you down basically. So that is what it means. Then the second one is Archete Dan Manavam. That means worship people not only for the material things, but also by showing respect to them. Means you material things এর জন্য বাবা এটা আমাকে করতে হবে মানে বলে না, why worship word is used, because we have the this thing, work is worship. Work is worship. That means when you do this, so people look for what? কি আমি গেইন করব, মেটেরিয়ালিস্টিক আমি কি গেইন করব, কোনো লাভ নেই। You will even we do it. আচ্ছা এটা করে কি লাভ আছে বলতো? We say this. So that is it. So we should not look at the love on these things, what we are gaining by it. But we should show respect also. Respect করা মানেই হচ্ছে you are dedicated. Showing respect to the organization you are working for. The third one is Atmana Vinadeche Brahm. So your strength and the inspiration for in excelling in any work, it comes from within. Divine means your religion, your moral, whatever it is, it comes from there. That is the God within. And how it comes? If you are really reading spiritual book, you are doing it selflessly, then also through prayers, and with mon shuddhi. You don't think মানে খারাপ কিছু, you don't think bad things like nah, I have to do it because otherwise he or she will beat me, আমাকে এটা ভালো করতে হবে ওকে নিচে দেখানোর জন্য. So that should not be there. So that is what it says. It comes from the divine. That means religiously and the moral deeds, whatever you are doing means moving in the right way. The fourth one is yoga karmashu kaushalam samavabham yoga uchyate. So that means the person who works with a calm mind achieves the most. I think in the last class I was talking about calm mind means what? If you are not disturbed, if you are not irritated, then you are cool. You can fully concentrate. That's why I think so what I told you in the last class is in Bengali there is a saying, চোর পালালে বুদ্ধি বাড়ে। বুদ্ধি মোটেই বাড়ে না। বুদ্ধি বাড়ে না, বুদ্ধি যা আছে ওটা তাই থাকে। But what happens when you're so much frightened? When a thief enters the house, you're so much frightened. And for anything, when you are frightened, when you are depressed, when you're very angry, you can't think properly. Clear thinking mind. That's why it is saying, so you can't do thinking bhalo hai na mane it affects your work, whatever you are doing. Mon mejaj bhalo na thakle, say if you are eating good things also, you don't get the taste, you don't enjoy your food. Simple thing. If you are upset with something, you don't enjoy your food also. Maybe that is the best food you love that food, but you don't enjoy. So that is what it says. Whenever you are doing something, your mind should be calm, because then only you can think clearly and then your output will be productive. Then next is Yadesi Bhavata Yashya Siddhi Bhavati Tadatrisi. That means as we think, whatever we think, we will succeed and it will come. Because that is what it is, that we should focus. You should always, that's why we say you should think positive. You should think positive. So whatever we think, that means we should think, we should put it into action, and we should stick to it. So then it will automatically come if you are determined. So That is what it says. If you think in a proper way, if you think in a good way, properly, so then you will succeed. But the sixth one is Vatsa Vatsaparam Bhavyanta Shreya Param Bhavyastha. That means with mutual cooperation among your colleagues, fellow beings, you having respect for all of these. So everyone then enjoys the good environment. As a result, you gain both spiritually and in material form also. Because you are working in cooperation, you have respect for your fellow beings, so you are enjoying the environment. By doing this naturally, whatever you are doing, you will definitely move ahead. Then the next one is, one second. The next, the eighth one is Paraspar Deva Bhava.
Ma'am, seventh one.
Oh, seventh one I missed out. Na?
Yes, ma'am.
Tasvayam Sukham, Tasvayam Shanti, Swasti. That means the everlasting happiness, the peace, all it comes who see all the divine things. Divine means holy things. That means holy things means just now I said divine means you are following the good path, the religion, your good conduct, your good manners, everything you are following it perfectly. So actually when you are doing this, there is no way people will be angry with you or your boss will be irritated with you because whatever you are doing it with wholeheartedly, with full devotion, you are enjoying the thing. So no question of any negative feeling or negative environment. Negative feeling, negative environment, actually it makes us, what do you say? It doesn't make money.
Distractions.
Animal. Yeah, it makes us an animal because when you get angry, see, you feel like doing anything. You got maar mere debo, jhagda kore debo, you yell, you shout. We are not that money. But when you are at peaceful mind, when you are happy, the world seems happy. Bhalo kore kotha bolte, everything you enjoy. That is what it says. So you will find happiness, or happiness takle you will find peace. Happiness takle to me peace of mind, peace of this you will find. So that is what it says. কথা হচ্ছে যে you should love what you are doing. You should follow a particular path, that is hardworking, sincerity, respect the people around you, and so. And next is the last one is the Paraspar Deva Bhava. That means you regard other person as a god. But we all vary. Conscience already আছে. If you are doing something wrong, that conscience will bite you. Your inner mind or inner যেটাকে বলে conscience বলে, it will bite. But everyone is a different person. So you should respect everyone. যেমন ভগবানকে, whether it is Lord Krishna, whether it is Allah, whether it is Jesus, whether it is Sai Baba, or whether it is Hanumanji, whatever it is, they are all different. Saraswati, Lord, Goddess Saraswati, Goddess Durga, everyone in our Hindu thing we say that everyone has got a different. For Saraswati means it's the goddess of knowledge. Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, and so on. So, but we pray in the same manner. We consider all of them as the supreme. Allah ho, Jesus ho, whatever it is, Guru, whatever it is, but they are all indicate something else. But one thing you should remember, the basic thing is all the religions, they show a single point, that is the supreme power you have to reach, and for that these are the different paths. Rasta alag alag hai, but and they say the same thing. If you go through it deeply, you will find that you should love everyone, respect everyone, hardworking, sincerity, honesty, all the religions. So that is what it says, that you should respect every person. Every person is a different person, but after all, they are a human being. You should consider them as God. As you respect God, you should respect them. So these are the basic principles which are applied in this. Now, coming to one thing that basically, if you summarize what you say, that the philosophy of management, it is basically depends on three things, which has been uh, seen from the over the past centuries. That is the scientific behavior and the human resources. These are the basically three elements, and these together, how they have to go along is suggested in all the different sacred books or these things. Okay, now coming to the, so now we say that of getting things done by others in an effective and efficient manner by using various physical and financial resources. Financial resources means you pay them, physically you make them work, and all these things. How you can make a person work, that is management. When we are talking in terms of corporate. Otherwise, management of time, if you say, it is also the same thing, how you manage the time, or management of waste material, all these things, that manage energy management. So different managements are there, but basically it is how effectively and efficiently you are getting things done, or time means in time, by using your, by physically and also by using money also, wherever you want, how you are going to adjust to it. Are you going to involve someone else? That means there again you have to pay, or you have to buy some electric gadgets for saving the time, for time management and so on. So the management lesson from Mahabharata. As we all know that it is the oldest and the greatest epic of the Hindu mythology, and that the world has witnessed basically. And this Mahabharata revolves around the varied human emotion, relations, and their complexity. This Mahabharata holds a great moral and ethical value, and it inspires and also teaches today's youth also how to go ahead in the right direction to achieve their goals. So, from managing the relationship to fulfilling the goals, we can say. So, we can say that Mahabharata is considered as the guidebook for the corporate for solving all kind of issues in the organization. And another thing we learn from Mahabharata is that it teaches that there is no end in learning. So we should keep on learning whatever comes in our way at any phase of time in our life. And if we implement in this, then we will definitely succeed and we will prosper in our life. That is there every stage. Now also I am learning so many things. So That is what the Mahabharata says. So Mahabharata can help organization to function well if implemented in both the personal life and the professional life. So now coming to the different functions, the first one is seize every opportunity. That is, we have to look out for the opportunity outside your scope of work. Means even outside whatever you are doing, for suppose you are handling on project, but you have to keep your eyes open to see if any other opportunity is there which you can grab. You should look for the opportunity, but never you should not be, what you say, too much involved or motivated that how you are going to defeat your competitor. If you do your job properly and if you look for opportunity, मौका देखना, मौका ढूंढना, okay, so if you do it automatically you will be able to move ahead of your competitor. So we can say that instead of investing all the energy on the goals, all the energy means you put all your energy there, you should also add strength also. केवल एनर्जी नहीं, पूरा स्ट्रेंथ पावर सब कुछ लगाना पड़ेगा. So we have to win that. Next is win allies. That is the five brothers, that is the Pandavas, they won against the Kauravas. How? Because they had the relationship they established over the years. It paid off. That is, focus on your own, but you must start reaching out to more people and making allies. You should not keep to yourself. And for that, you need to first what you have to do your behavior. Your behavior that makes you or takes you to other people. My goodness, someone is there now. Just do it. Just a second. Pradeep Ghosh. Pradeep, can you hear me? Where is Pradeep? No sound.
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
Why are you late?
ম্যাম আমার যে ট্রেনিং চলছিল যার জন্য একটু লেট হয়ে গেছে।
বললে তো আমারও তো মাঝখানে ডিস্টার্ব হয়ে যায় না। Okay. So you should have, that means in short word I can say you should make your network big, enlarge your network, because if you have your network is more, then you will be able to get more support, more help, more information, so all these things. So you should win the alley, distribute work. So one man leadership is not going to help, and it did not help for the Kauravas. Okay, so the more people you have, and they should be working toward different goals, so the output will be an efficient one. Means you distribute the work. Some people will be looking for one work, someone will be say one will be looking for the finance, one will be looking for the sales, one will be looking for the marketing. So you should distribute your work, because here we have seen that the one man leadership, it did not work for the Kauravas. So you have to distribute the work. The next is know how to build team spirit. Kauravas were plenty in number, but they were zero in their strength. Because make your team work towards a single goal. Your goal should be single. The team means more than one person. So and you have one goal. So you should look at the goal and then you should do your work and not your personal one. Because how personal work, suppose if the You have a particular goal, but if you think, no, if I do this, if I prove myself, boss will be happy, I will get a promotion. So if you are thinking about yourself, or I won't do, other people are there, they will be doing it, so why I should put the effort? So it should not be there. Everyone should work towards the single. You should take everyone's, because every person, like I said, every person has got their own capability, their own skills. So we should learn to take from everyone's whatever everyone can contribute. Another thing is we should listen to everyone. আর কি বক্তব্য আছে, because each person is a different person. তো নিজের বক্তব্যটা প্রত্যেকে মানুষে রাখতে পারে. So you should listen to them. Then only you can work properly. সবারই কথা শুনে you will find some good suggestion, but together one good suggestion comes up. That is much more better to reach your goal than what you were doing on. So that is it. Team spirit. Next is give your team individual goal. That is allot individual goal to each team. The different team, like I said, the finance team, the sales team, the marketing team, like this. Even when you are doing something like small functions and all, suppose you are having a sports. So there also you make different teams. One person will be, not one person, sorry, a group will be managing the field, all the drawing the tracks, all those things, where the tent will be put up and all these things, where the chairs will be there, all etc. etc. One person will be looking about the budget. One person will be doing all the taking care of the buying of the prizes and all, first, second, third, whatever it is. One group will be involved in for invitation, and so every work you see, whatever we do in our life, we divide the work, because if you don't divide the work, it becomes really very, it doesn't work out properly. So everyone should have an individual goal. So even the Pandavas were working towards the same goal, but they had different roles in the battle. Everyone had a different role in the battle. Next is commitment. Keep it strong. Commitment means whatever the work has been, if you have agreed to do the work, you should keep to your commitment. And that it should be very strong. So once you are up for a challenge, when you have accepted it, okay, you have given this work, it will be done. That means you have accepted it. So you should never back out from it. Now, if the Pandavas had worried about that we are only small in number in comparison to the Kauravas, so they would have never tried only, they would have never gone for the war. So we see that the determination and commitment takes you well ahead of everything. Determination and commitment. This is what you learn. Another thing is know every member's potential. Just few minutes back, as I was saying, that every person has got a different potential, different skills. Everyone has got different things. You have to find out, because you are managing the team. So you should know who is good in what. So this Pandavas knew that how to take out the energy, harness the energy from the team, from each member of the team. So you should be smart enough to use your team's ability and potential to the maximum. See, we do it unknowingly, but not in this line. Where do we do? When we go to buy something, you pay a certain amount and you want the maximum of it. And how do you do it? एक के साथ एक free use, look for it, or some 20% more, 10% extra is there. That means whatever the money I'm spending, I want to get the maximum out of it. It's not that I'm paying 100 rupees for a thing and I'm buying something सड़ा गया, खराब हो गया. You are not buying that. You look for the best and you look for more. 100 रुपए से थोड़ा ज्यादा होगा. Even when you buy vegetable, we say, अरे थोड़ा दे दो ना. Even we do it all while eating कुछ का. Last day when you have finished, 10 रुपए में 4 मिलेगा. After you eat for 20 rupees, 30 rupees. भैया तो एक दे दो ना भैया. इतना खाया है. So what do we do? That is only that we want to extract the maximum of what we have paid. So here, same thing. Every man is an individual, and every God has given every man capability. They're different, good in some field or the other. So you have to first realize that, and then you have to take it out from that person. Means you have to use it. You have to encourage that person in that field so that you can get the maximum out of that person. This is what it says. Now coming to the management lesson from Vedas. This Vedic wisdom also can be set fruitfully for our business organization. So this Vedic statement basically it applies to the modern business management also practices. And there are basically say that there are two types of wealth that are mentioned in the Vedas. One is the prevalent wealth and one is the potential wealth. Prevalent wealth it is known as the Viktam and the potential wealth is known as the Vidya. Okay. The prevalent wealth means which is the common wealth whatever we have. And potential wealth means which we are going to generate in future. That is what is required. Profit se aayega, kahan se aayega. That is there. So the word Veda actually means knowledge of both matter and spirit. So this Vedic management is a comprehensive system of life management, right living, creativity development, and higher awareness. Okay. So if you see, there are 4 Indo-Aryan Vedas. As you see, they are the Sama Veda. Okay, first is the Sama Veda is afterwards. The first is the Rig Veda. Now, what is Rig Veda? It contains the hymns about their mythology. Whatever the mythology is, it says hymns about the hymns means the verses and all this thing. It's not a sentence type. It's in form of verses. There is the Sama Veda. It it has the hymns about the religious rituals. Whatever the religious rituals we carry up is being carried for say अन्नप्राशन हो रहा है रिचुअल्स एक रकम का होता है शादी में एक रकम का रिचुअल्स होता है डेथ होने से एक रकम का रिचुअल so that is there it hints about the religious rituals are mentioned then is the Yajur Veda that contains the instructions for religious rituals instructions letters more or less these two are similar there all the mantras and all these things and here the religious instructions is what to do what not to do so instructions are there and then is the Atharva Veda it consists the spells against the enemies the diseases and all these things so it has all these 4 Vedas consist of there in the Indo-Aryan Vedas. Now coming to the basic principles of the Vedic management. The first one is Vasuda Iva Kutumbakam. That is accepting the whole world as one and one family. This Vedic believes that the whole nation, state, they are there, not just for the welfare of the citizen, but for consider it as a whole world. See, you can see this example. If we have to consider because everything is for the humanity. Nature is there. Whatever you do good is the whole humanity is affected. It's not like India is affected, a particular religion is affected, like when we were talking about the global warming. So each we have to look at as that whole world is a family and how this global warming is affecting our lives. Then this pollution because of the plastic bags. That is also how it is affecting globally. We are not considering how it is affecting India or how it is affecting the Christians or how it is affecting a particular society. It's not that. So we should consider the whole world as one family. The next is the Samarpan Bhava. That means dedication. Dedication means we should, whatever we are doing, we should be totally dedicated towards it. We should not be vengeance, revengeful नहीं. Why you are doing the work? Because कोई competition करना है किसी के साथ और उसने ऐसा पाया है तो मेरे को भी पाना है और उसको नीच दिखाना है. It should not be that. It should be fully dedicated. If you are really dedicated, naturally your output will be productive and naturally it will help you to move ahead. Next is the Loka Sangraha, that is welfare of all beings. According to Chanakya, this was the supreme duty of everyone, even the king. That means it should look. This is actually is in the book of Arthashastra, which reads that king shall maintain his subject and perform his duties. He should see and use the wealth, whatever the wealth the king has, it should be used for the well-being of his subjects. He should not hurt the people. He should not किसी को हानि नहीं पहुंचाएगा and not even take away their property because I am the king or I am the jamidar. I can अत्याचार कर सकते हैं, जमीन ले लिया, all these things. So that is what it says. So one should always keep away from unethical, which is not right, and which is not the transaction which are not what you say honestly done. So one should keep away from. So that will help the people all around. ट्रांजैक्शन माने करप्शन भी हो सकता है उसमें, चीटिंग हो रहा है, फ्रॉड हो रहा है, you are extracting from the weaker people or you are extracting from the people who are not aware of their. now जैसे अभी फ्रॉड हो रहा है क्या बोलते banks and all, because people are not much aware of the technology, so that is unethical. So we should see the welfare of all being. मेरा खुद का देखने से नहीं चलेगा. Then is Shubha Labh, that is ethical profit. Now, what do you mean by this? That you should not go against any right thing. That means you should do whatever you are doing, whatever you are achieving, it should be ethical. Whatever wealth you want, because all these things, your wealth, your desire, your thinking about your life is all interrelated basically. So anyone who thinks of these or desires these things, and when it becomes excess, ज्यादा पैसा चाहिए और जिंदगी में और मेरे को ऊंचा चढ़ना है और चाहिए और लैविशली ये करना है, then only, because you should remember anything excess is not good. Simple thing, overeating क्या होता है, स्टमक प्रॉब्लम आ जाता है. ओवर टैक्सिंग योरसेल्फ, कोई काम कर रहे हो, हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम आता है. सो एनीथिंग ओवर शुड नॉट बी, because it will hurt you only. It is important. Health, wealth is important. It is an important desire. But one should remember that wealth of knowledge should be achieved. Knowledge. वो चाहिए 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 होना चाहिए और लर्न करना है और सीखना है. That should be there. Because the more you learn, you are exposed to many things. You can think in a proper way because you have got many ideas. You have been exposed to many circumstances with many people. You have learned of many things. So you are able to make the right decision. So the wealth of knowledge should be there. The next is the nishkama karma. That means whatever you are doing, it should be not filled with greed, which is लोभ से नहीं करना. Because Chanakya, he held the ideas of deed without greed. That means he had written that he had mentioned that the duty of the king is to look a king by overthrowing the aggregate of the six internal enemies. If the king throws the internal enemies, क्या है अपने अंदर का? They are the greed, they are the anger, they are the vanity, haughtiness, overjoy. All these are our sense of जो है वो होता है. If we are able to control them, then we will be able to lead a proper life. ठीक से होगा. But if you have greed over anything, then that will dominate you. That will, because of that, you will be misguided. Next is the Ati has the Varjati. That is shunning extreme. That is, balance is the basic key of the teaching of the Arthasastra. That is, what you should say, that extreme goodness also. If you are very good, that is also not good because people take advantage of it. So we say, for example, you can say the tree which is, when a woodcutter goes to cut a tree in the forest, which tree he will target, which is strong and which is standing straight. So it has to be that you have to find a balance when you have to bend and when you have to stand straight. Otherwise, people will take advantage of it. So balance means between the good and the bad action, happiness and the unhappiness, then your cry and laughter, pain and pleasure. There has to be balance. In life, you will be facing many things, but you cannot hold on to one thing. See, even you are happy, everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants pleasure. But it is not that. There are ups and downs, we say. So when unhappiness is also there, you should not be depressed. ये सब काम वगैरह छोड़ के मेरे से कुछ नहीं होगा, मेरा क्या बोलते किस्मत खराब है and all these things. It should not be that. So There should be a balance between all these. Now, coming to the Quran and modern management principles. Now, the Holy Quran instructs to work as team for accomplishing the desired goal. That is there in other things also. We have seen in Mahabharata also. See, I said, no, everyone says the same thing, but in different forms. The principle of equal opportunity postulates that all members of an organization shall have fair and equal chance to grow, to contribute, and they should be rewarded accordingly. That means everyone should be looked upon equally. Now, coming to the management principle. So what does the Quran says that first is getting things done to others. That is, it's the concept of manager. And what is who is a manager? Is a person who works to others because he makes the people work. And therefore, a good manager is a person who not only knows what is to be done, but how to get it done. Now, in Holy Quran, this confirms 4.3. Those who are Muslim, they will be knowing much more better because you all must be going through this Quran. You have more knowledge about the Quran and all these things. So, 4.32. That means 4.3 means any number like 4. The first one is the chapter. That is here the 43rd chapter and the 32 verse says that he rise some of them above other in rank so that some may command work from others. And where it is written surah means it is the verse. What does it say? That in an organization or anything, different people are giving different ranks, position, post. Why? Because it is given basically according to the capacity of the person, according to the potential of a person. And why it is given? So that he can make the other people work. That is what it says. The next is the principle of management is leadership. That is, without leadership, someone has to hold. Otherwise, if there is no leader, then every member will do whatever he wants to do instead of following the direction of the group or participate in teamwork. Because no one is there. No one is there to guide you or ask for. So, like in school, colleges also, you have got a class monitor. Even in games, all these sports, you have got a captain. And who is the captain? Who has got that quality so that he can guide the other team members. That is what it says. So the principle comes from the hadith of the Prophet, which says when team members are traveling together, they should make one of them leader. And it is given in this number. Okay. The third point is important principle of management in the joint consultation. Now, the modern world, we have seen that the importance of joint consultation. You should sit and consult. You should discuss. Okay. That is in a team when you are doing some work, when you have taken up some work. So it should be joint consultation. Everyone should sit for it. The Holy Quran gives the concept in 42:38 that those who do their work through mutual consultation, and the next one is pass over their fault and ask God for the forgiveness and consult them in affair, then we have taken the proper decision. And when you put your trust in God, means we consider God as our leader. They say final leader. That means final leader means how he is guiding us. Like I said, whatever is being taught in our religion, and in our religion means same thing is taught in every religion. Love others as you want everyone to love you. Respect others. Everyone is equal. Be sincere. Be honest. Be hardworking. This is there in everyone in some form or the other. These are the things which are taught. So you should not think I am superior. I can do. I don't need anyone to consult. It should not be there. Or always discussion helps. Next is the obedience and respect for the authority. So it is the fundamental thing which is required when working in a team, because it is necessary for those who are given a job to complete, because they have to respect the authority who has given the work, from whom you have got the work. You have to respect your team members, which we had discussed in the above. You have to respect the others so that you are able to do your task by following all the legality, and also your responsibilities are taken care of. So the Holy Quran in 459 it says that obey Allah and His Messenger and those in position of authority among you. Because they are given the authority because they can. Because they can. Today you and me won't be able to do because we are not that knowledgeable. And when we are knowledgeable, actually high chances you will also get the same opportunity. So whoever is the authority, we should follow their instructions. We should respect their instructions. That is what it says. Principle of equal opportunity. That is, the all members of the organization shall have equal and fair chance to grow. No partiality should be done, and rewarded accordingly. So here again, the Quran emphasizes in 49:13 that, O people, we created you from a single male and female couple, and then divided you in nation and tribes, so that you may recognize one another. From a single couple, we say in this thing, we say that we are all the, what you say, we have come from Adam and Eve, from a single couple. That is what it says. Where it is. So in the light of this Quranic verse, if there is any criteria of superiority and respectability in the sight of Allah, or in Islamic you say Allah, in this thing Christianity you will say God, it is the taqwa. That is whatever is right, whatever is right. That every religion says that. That if whatever is right, you should do that. Next is the sixth one is motivation and commitment. Your commitment means to do work can only be achieved through motivation. Anything you are doing because you are motivated by something. That is the manager, as the way a manager behaves or deals with his the people he is working with, or you can say the subordinate, determines the level and the vitality of his motivation and commitment to a great extent. Because manager's motivation you can judge by how he is dealing with his people. If he is motivated, the his team members, the environment around his team members will be a healthy environment. That is what it says. And the Holy Quran speaks about the golden rule. Says that if you had been stern and fierce of heart, they means the companion and the followers would have disappeared from around you. That is true even in your friend circle you have seen. If you are not your behavior is not good, if you are very rough and tough, you will find in a no time you will find that you are left alone. People don't want to be friendly with you. That is what it says. So pardon them and ask forgiveness for them and consult them in the conduct of affair. That means you should, whenever if anything goes wrong and all these things, you should ask for, oh, sorry, I'm because of something this went wrong, so my behavior was not good, something. So you do that. And another thing is you should consult them in the conduct of affair also, whatever they are doing and all their conduct, that their behavior and all these things, how it is affecting them. That is what it says. The next is the unity of command. That is, the organization should have a single plan of action to guide the manager and the worker. Every person should not have different rules and regulations. Whether he is a manager or whether he is a worker, time means time. So many medical leave means medical leave. So many earned leave means earned leave. That is, it should be single plan. So this principle is found in the Holy Quran in 21:22. That is, if there were in heaven and the earth other God beside Allah, there would have been collusion in both. If, that is what is basically now happening also, people fight over religion. But they forget that we all are human beings and there is only one supreme power. We call it by different name. But they are the supreme power. For a simple example, see, we have got schools. Different schools are there with the different rules, regulations. But ultimately, what you get from the schools, you are not going all the schools. You are studying in one school, but basic idea is to clear your 12th standard and then follow your dreams. You are not going to fight, oh, my school is good or that school is bad. It is not that. The basic idea is you should have the knowledge which is required to follow your dreams. Up to 12th standard, you study in some school, then you take the college whichever you want. For that also there are different colleges, different, but finally where do you end up? Being an engineer, being a doctor. Finally you end up working in some IT company for engineers, for doctors, you end up looking after the patient. So that is the motive. So same thing. Motive is one, goal is one, paths are different. So that is what it is. If you keep on fighting, you will not be able to reach anywhere. The next is the unity of command. It is giving importance to organizational interest than individual. This also we had discussed in the previous one, that we should not give interest in individual persons. That is, interest of any employee or a group of employees should not be considered, taken seriously. It should be the interest of the organization as a whole. Because if everyone looks at the organization as a whole, then automatically, if the organization rises, all the workers, the employees working there, they will also be affected. अच्छा होने से अच्छा होगा, salary बढ़ेगा, promotion मिलेगा, and if you are not working properly, अच्छे से output नहीं दे रहे हो सकता है worst cases organization बंद हो जाएगा, या they have to close down for some certain amount of time, again back you will be affected. So you should not look at as a person or an individual as a group of person. It is the organization when you are working. Like in our personal life, what we say, whoever is there, we say नहीं ऐसा मत करो, family का नाम बदनाम होगा. We don't say mera naam badnaam hoga. If you do something mera naam badnaam hoga, that is not there. Family's name will be affected. If you do good, the family's name is highlighted. That is what it says. So the principle that is found in Hadith of Bukhari Sharif, where Prophet Muhammad said, I swear by the one who owns my life, that is the supreme power. Nobody can be honest unless and until he like the things for his brothers. Brothers means among yourself, the group you belong to, that he likes for himself. We have to like what the others like. Means it is here, it is telling about a community, but if you put it in that, it is for the organization, it is saying that. You have to like the, or you have to take interest in the other person also, not only your interest. That is what it says. The next is the wage or remuneration. So in an organization, the worker must be paid reasonably. They should not be underpaid. That's what it is said. For whatever the services they are offering. So here again, Muhammad Prophet has said that the worker must be paid before drying their sweat. Because then only they are happy. मैंने तुम prolong करोगे ठीक है आज नहीं देंगे कल देंगे अभी नहीं देंगे बाद में देंगे. So because in some cases say the daily wages they get daily or weekly they get daily wages. For us like people we get monthly salary. So these are the things. But you should get it. It should not prolong. Because that keeps them happy. Because they know that I am working, I am getting something because they also have to survive. So that is what it says. When they are happy, naturally, your team will be able to go ahead very nice. Next is the elimination of waste. So the wastage can be in terms of material, in terms of human capital, means in terms of human being or energy, machine utilization, processing time, etc. etc. Because it may result in the because it results basically in the increase of cost and consequently क्या होता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का प्रॉफिट कम हो जाता है so continuously it has to be seen that the wastage is eliminated जो चीज जरूरत नहीं है wastage means it's not that it खराब हो गया और waste हो गया है if there are more labor than that is required और फालतू में सामान ज्यादा मशीनरी आ गया है so that has to be eliminated ज्यादा electricity चल रहा है you know people are not there but the AC is running what we do in classes also when you leave the classroom switch off your fan AC light etc energy खर्चा हो रहा है वहाँ पे so this is what it is saying so this has to be taken care so basically what success depends on the two principles basically the complete elimination of the wastage and another thing is equal level of respect for all on what the success is based on success is based on these things elimination excess या wastage को eliminate करो जो waste हो रहा है पड़े पड़े रह रहा है like we people we do nowadays you will find you don't require but still you for nothing you buy so many clothes shoes and still richer people, all these film stars and all the big shots, they have got so many cars. And finally, you have one car you are going to use at a time. So why keeping all these things? That is just wastage. But these people they think that it is the shan hai wo. That is not the good thing. You are wasting this. वो पैसे कहीं अच्छे काम में लग सकता है. So that is what it is. Okay. Now the Holy Quran has spoken against the wastage and lavish expenditure. That is we call lavish. So in 1726 it says, and render to the kindred their due respect as to those in want and to the wayfarer. That means but waste not your wealth, your time, your health. Material things may you have to take care of. But when it comes to your wealth, time, all these things, your talent, उसको waste मत करो. Opportunity, that you should not waste. The next is the 1727 says, for the wasteful are the brother of Satan, and Satan is ungrateful to his Lord. So you should not waste. Those who are ungrateful to Lord, that is what it is. You should not waste your time with them. The next is the O God of Adam, wear your beautiful apparel at every time
Oh,
and
child
place of
lover.
prayer, eat and drink, but waste not by excess. For Allah loves not the waster. Just now I said, अच्छा पहनो खाओ ये करो, everything you do, but you should not waste. Like when we go to the hotel and all, order दे देते हैं, पूरा खाते नहीं बनता है, we leave it. अरे hotel क्यों? I think so many of you must be doing now also. When you sit to eat, after your stomach is full, you leave the things that are there in the plate, wasting the food. How can you eliminate that? You start only by taking little. Once you have finished with that, take the second helping. So you should not waste anything. But here again it is said, like in 1726, but you should not waste your wealth, time, health, opportunity, talent. That you have to maintain and keep it and use it properly. The next is the optimum capacity by utilization. Now, optimum capacity by, that is the 11th point.
লক করে যাচ্ছি তার শুধু মা পাঁচটা পড়ে যাচ্ছিল বড়টা
The Holy Quran
5
says
মিনিট
that this is another
হ্যাঁ
the golden rule that the Muslim businessman should learn and also practice in
পাঁচটায় পড়ে
daily
যাচ্ছে
life.
সব
So what it says, no soul shall have a burden laid on it greater than it can bear. Means you should not take more burden. ज़्यादा overtax
अरे
मत करो.
चालू
जितना ले सकते हो,
हवा
उतना.
যাচ্ছে
That is what it says. Then in the next one it says, on no soul doth Allah places a burden greater than it can. God also never puts greater pressure on you. Our Lord lay not on us a burden greater than we have strength to bear. Always we say that you take according to whatever is your capacity. Do not overburden. And the next one says, are emphasizing on the fact that physical, emotional, and intellectual capacity of an individual is limited and not exhaustive. Everyone has got their own capacity that we have seen from our day-to-day life also. One stomach can be means of the same age group. One stomach can be filled with only two chapati, and someone will be needing four chapati. Someone can do much of a labor work. Someone can do much of an intellectual work. So everyone is, this thing is different. That is what it says. So you should not put or you should not overload any of your employee. Overtax नहीं कर दो रात को जग के बैठ के करना पड़ रहा है and he is so much exhausted that it takes a toll on his health. That is what it says. Now coming to the Biblic principle. Management of Biblic principle of Biblic management. So management is another word for stewardship. So steward or managers are responsible over something entrusted to them by someone else. Someone else has given them some responsibility and you have to do it. And he may gets the work done by through other people. So a steward identifies. So a steward identifies himself with his masters. See, something like a master, because he is in charge of that particular project. So, and for him, his master's interest come here. The master means the organization he is working for, the one who has given him the work to do. That see, you have to get this work done. This is the project, and you have got say 10 people in your team. So that is, so he has to consider his master's interest, and then he has to accept the responsibility. So, in the Jesus parable lesson of servant who were entrusted with talent, it is given in Math 25.14. Here also it is the chapter and the verses. So the following thought that arises or comes up for the management that emerges is that God expects a return of the capital with the growth. That means for everything there has to be a development. And every manager has, or the steward has his own work. Every manager has got their own work, different work. Then the capital, that is the talent, the gift, the responsibility which is there in a manager is for the development, and it is for the development of that team. For it is not for only his development. Whatever his capability is, he is being given that work because of his capability. So he has to use that for his teamwork, for not for his own prosperity. He has he is to be accountable for what he is doing it. Then after giving an account, the manager is accordingly appreciated, or accordingly he is punished by his boss. So there are all these things are there where the manager has to take the responsibility. So now coming to this, that the Lordship of Christ over all our life and thoughts is the responsibility to love God with our whole being as we love thy neighbor as thyself. This is what he says. You should love others as you love yourself. Then the responsibility to chase the rightness and to practice justice. You should be give mercy to everyone and all. So God had set up Adam in the garden is a replicable model, is also attainable for the golden days employers. So it is applicable for today's modern days employers also. And what are the different principles are? The principle number one, give your employee plenty of food. You have to give them space. You cannot overload them. You should not pressurize them. They should also have their own space. Say for simple, space means you have given them work and you give them, say you do it in 4 days or 5 days. So let him do in whatever way he wants to do it. You don't have to go and find out. At the end of the 4th day or the 5th day, then you should go and see whether he has been able to give you the desired result. So in this we see that God had given Adam a garden. The sheer amount of vegetation, it describes the hint of the amount of space he has given. That is what it is. The garden, how much the amount of space is being given to him. So, if you are always looking for work and work and work, so we are not able to make the people or the employee work properly. They should be given the proper space. You should hire the right person for the job. You should not make them overloaded. For example, they are coming up early in the morning and then they are leaving at the end of the day. Even a very good person, he will be tired. He will be affected. His health will be affected. So it should not be that. The number two is resource your employees for success. Because Adam had what he needed to work in the garden because God made sure he had. So, when disparity did rise, he quickly moved to fix it. For instance, God created Eve. In the same way, we as a leader must be passionate about ensuring that we have given our people the required things that is needed for them to work so that they will be able to work properly. That is what it is required. Coming to the principle number 3, give clear guidance around your expectation. Meaning it is your responsibility to make sure that the employees has internalized your expectation, means they have completely absorbed what you are telling them or what you want from them. Means your communication should be good. Only it is okay, सुन लिया बात ठीक है, इधर से कान से सुना उधर से निकाल दिया. It's not that. So we should communicate properly so that you can make sure that whatever the responsibility is being given to them, they are able to carry it on. Both Adam and Eve, they knew they had sinned against God because the expectation had been clearly communicated and they understood those expectations well enough to understand the seriousness of the consequences of working outside the guideline. That means if you are able to give the clear guidelines to your employees, they will be able to follow it and they will know that if they do not follow that proper guideline or what the manager or what our leader wants, then they should be ready to face the consequences that will come. जैसे सिंपल थिंग तुमको बोला है ये रास्ते में गाड़ी इतने स्पीड में चलाना है बट यू आर मूविंग फास्टर देन दैट यू नो स्पीड लिमिट दिया रहता है बट देन यू हैव टू फेस द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस दैट इज व्हाट इट सेज द प्रिंसिपल नंबर is the fourth principle. The principle 4 says that give your employee a consistent presence. Not giving them enough space is unhealthy, but making them feel abundant also and lonely also has the same effect as underperforming and unmotivated employee. You give them and then you leave them, it's not that also. We should see that they are constantly being inspired, they are constantly being monitored. So then only you should listen to them. When you do these things, then only and each employee will want to work with their leader. You talk to them, you ask them if any questions are there, any problems are there, or sometimes you sit together like for the lunchtime and you talk to them, you get their feedbacks and so on. So these are the things you should then just, that means you should show your presence. That means you should show that you are also interested in them. You are taking interest in them. काम लेके छोड़ दिया 10 दिन बाद आके you ask them काम हो गया है. So it is not that, because in between they may have faced some problem. They had some, all of a sudden माने someone had a good idea जी ऐसा होने से तो और अच्छा हो सकता था. So if you attend them from time to time, if you talk to them, listen to them, then they will also be motivated. They will be also eager to carry on their work. So that is what it says. Next is the principle number 5. Acknowledge the result and show compassion. That is, Adam was given a work to do and that work was done very well. Though it was not perfect, but well it was. So even though Adam had a hand in bringing sin into the world, but God still gave him the credit for naming all the animals of the creation. So this implies to the leaders also that we should thank the employees. You should say some in some stage or something. You should praise them in public or among a big group. So they will feel nice that they are being acknowledged. And there is a failure, but still we should recognize the result. If they have done it, they are not able to successful. We have to show them that also, but you should not be harsh with them. You should not be harsh with them. You have to show them, see, you have done it this, but whatever you have done is was not done properly. So you give them say punishment or whatever it is, but it should not be that bad that they will be affected. And another big thing is when if there is a failure, so you should not blame them. Generally, and what happens in this, if it is a successful, the project is successful, the manager takes the credit. And if there is a failure, he will blame his team. It should be the reverse. You are successful because all the team members have been working passionately, very nicely. That's why the project has been a success. And if the project is a you should take that responsibility that I was the person who was not able to give proper, communicate properly, guide properly, motivate properly to my workers, and as a result, the project is a failure. That is what it is. Reading is difficult. Even if you do it all perfectly, people still eat apples they are not supposed to eat. That means we know that we do certain things which we know that we are not supposed to do it. So as a leader, our job is to give the people the room to grow, to support them to grow and provide them with all the different equipments to grow and and provide an equal measure of truth and grace at each step along the way. Every step they are going, you have to measure the truth and the grace of it. So the best business advice and counsel in order to build a good business counsel can be found in the sacred book Bible. Now the principles to build a successful business, it is given that is practice taking the second step. Second step, that means go a little further. Always do more. जितना बोला उतना करके मत छोड़ दो. ज्यादा करो. ज्यादा करने से क्या होगा? People will be surprised. You will be able to get their attention. You have to be different. Jesus has given this principle, Matthew 5:1. The New Century Version records the statement that if someone forces you to go with him, one mile, go with him 2 miles. Jesus gives this principle to his follower as a way for them to separate themselves from the culture in which they were living to help others to see God more clearly. If we always what do your mark ke kaam karte? It should not be that. You should do more and then you see what happens. This is what it says. You should do always more. Whatever is being given to you, you should always do more. Go ahead a little. Second is the golden rule works if you work it. That is, make people first think of others. दूसरों का पहले सोचो. दूसरों को treat others as you would want to be treated yourself. Because here you have to, in a corporate world, you have to think of the customer. You have to think of the customer. So, the Biblic principle on which to build a business is found in Luke. Luke was a saint basically. This verse, which is known as the Golden Rule, states that do unto others as you would have them do unto you. तुम उनके साथ वैसा ही करो जो तुम चाहोगे तुम्हारे साथ हो. So that is what it says. The next is because the companies don't think of their, if the companies don't think of their customer, तो फिर तो गया customer हाथ से चला जाएगा. So you have to think of the customer. Because suppose you are a customer, what you will be want? You want. तुमको वो सोचना पड़ेगा जहाँ मेरे को क्या चाहिए. Suppose you went to buy some product. What you want from a product? So you have to think in that way, and then you have to think of the customers. The next is the principle: focus on profit with a purpose. Profit को focus करो, but with a purpose. That is, you should know your priorities. Live life and run your purpose and run your business with a purpose and vision. Profit तो चाहिए सबको, because profit is a measure of your success. It attracts people. It is what you have dreamt of. All these things, but you have to see that it is not affecting others. Like that Christian leaders understand that the wrong profit can be damaging. A biblical principle that Christian leaders must follow to build business that have a profit with a purpose. Jesus asked his follower in Mark 8:36, "What good is it for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul?" If you are not clear to your soul, profit करके क्या होगा? Profit करके माने by some unfair means. This small thing बोले दूध बेच रहे हैं, पानी मिला के बेच रहे हैं. So, are you clear to your soul?
No, ma'am.
You are committing a crime. You are committing a sin. People are using adultery कर रहे हो. How you are doing it? तुम्हारा तो profit हो रहा है, but how it is affecting? It is affecting the food product, or it is affecting the health of the person. So that is what it is. So profit करो, but it should be with a purpose. Clear profit होना चाहिए. The next is the principle number 4. Know your yes and your no, because it is required for making the value-based decision. So you should keep your words, fulfill your commitments, because then only you will be a good leader. People cannot follow a person who does not know basically what he wants, what he is doing. He himself doesn't know. So how people will follow him? That means you have to know what you are comfortable with, what you can do, and what is your weaknesses. So Jesus gives a secret to the leader in Matthew 5:36, Mark 37. He states, "And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black." कर देंगे, हो जाएगा. You should not be that. When you know you cannot do it, be very clear. Don't take the job. ले तो लिए, then you think of some other means. इससे करा लेंगे, उससे करा लेंगे, झूठ बोल देंगे. That should not be there. You should know your limits. All you need to simply say is yes or no. Because this yes or no means that you know where you are going and what you are trying to do. If you say yes means you are very clear what you are doing. Are you going to the college? Yes. Means you know where you are going. You will take the correct decision how to go. Shortest route with minimum expense you will go. But if you are not sure where you are going, वो शाम को घूमते घूमते निकल गए, but you don't know where you are going. So that you will not be able to, because एक है entertainment हो रहा है, तुम घूम रहे हो, इधर घूम रहे हो, you are loitering about. But that is, you are not able to achieve anything. So whatever you say, you make your word means something, because by that only you can develop and build trust and relationship among your members. And then only you will have influence on them. Because if you yourself do not know, then how can you influence other people? Because they will say अरे इसको तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है फालतू बोलता है. These are the very common words we use. अरे छोड़ो तो फालतू बोलता है वो, मालूम नहीं है क्या करना है क्या बोलना है, बोल दिया करेंगे. So these are the things. So you should know your yes and no. The next is the principle 5. Make the move from owner to overseer. That is, you should practice the leadership. Use the resources wisely. Because you should remember that God owns all. And He will reward those that use His resources to the maximum capability. Same thing, maximum capability. Suppose तुमको अच्छा दिमाग है, you are very good in drawing. So use it to your maximum, you will succeed. So whatever is your capacity, whatever is the resources you have around you, you make use of it and you will be rewarded, means you will be successful. Be ready to give an answer for all your decision. You should be able to answer to whatever deeds you are doing. क्यों किया तुमने ऐसा? That means you should have a purpose. Then only you do. Because you should always do it in such a way so that you should be ready to hear the word that people saying, wow, well done, you have done it very well. So that should be your thing. So Jesus told a story in Matthew about a faithful servant, and he ends the story in Matthew 25:23 with this word. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Well done means you will be rewarded. You will be able to move further. That is what it says. So you should be able to use your resources, whatever resources, do not waste it. Whatever you have around you, within you, you should use it to your full extent, what we are not doing nowadays. We are always looking for a shortcut. That is the problem. Principle number 6. Trusting the law of sowing and reaping. In English there is a saying, as you sow, so shall you reap. माने जो बोगे वैसा ही तुम पाओगे. So that is what it says. So be generous with your seed. अच्छे से तुम काम करो, regularly उसको देखो, then only you will get a good result. So the law of life can be entrusted because it has been proven many times. It has been seen. Successful business knows. No, and trust the law of sowing and reaping. जैसा करोगे वैसा भरोगे. In Hindi also there is a saying, so we should follow that. So the Bible states that the point is, whoever sows sparingly will reap. जो थोड़ा करेगा थोड़ा मिलेगा, sparingly, reap sparingly. And whoever sows bountifully will reap bountifully. जो अच्छे से करेगा उसको अच्छा मिलेगा. The New Living Translation of the Bible records the principle of these words that remember this: a farmer who plants only a few seed will get small crop, and the person who plants generously will get generous crop. So we should not be afraid with small seeds, but we should be ready to do it properly so that we are able to get the good result that we should be looking forward. The next is the principle 7. Believe and ask for impossible. That means you should dream big. Set big goals. Stretch yourself and your team. Find new ways to look at old problems. You should have belief. You should expect big answers. Because everything starts with a dream. Why did you come to India for studying MBA? Because you have dreamt of something in your life. So it starts with a dream. So you should always dream big. That's why there is a saying in English, you should always aim high at the sky. Then only you will fall somewhere in between. You should always target for the full marks मेरे को मिलना चाहिए subject 90% मिलना चाहिए then only you will see कि कहीं 60-70% में तो mark ही गिरे. So you should always challenge yourself. खुद को challenge करो कि I should be able to. What if? Use your question, use your imagination, and try to see in a different way also. What if I do it in this way? क्या होगा फिर? Challenge yourself. So again, the Bible states in that now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. To him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generation forever and ever. Amen. That means if you do more, if you do your work more, it's not saying that you go outside your capacity. You use your potential to the full. That is what it says. You put yourself fully into that. Then only you will find glory in that. And you should always big dream, that's why it says. Because it will take you very high. Next is the principle A. Build to the fourth generation. That means you should know your foundation. Always do the right things. Know your core values and beliefs. Always your thinking should be much more advanced. And the decision should be based on your tomorrow in mind. Prepare for the future by taking the right decision today. All these things you have to be there. Don't waste time building things that is not going to last for long. You should always do things, start things, or build your foundation in such a way that even when there are rough and tough, you are able to carry on with it. So, Martin Luther King Jr. taught that the time is always right to do what is right. He might have taken his inspiration from the word of Proverbs 4:25-27, where the Bible teaches, let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. 26 states that give careful thought to the path for your feet and be steady fast in all your ways. 27. Do not turn to the right or left. Keep your foot away from evil. Business that are built on solid foundation will last for generations. That means you look straight forward. You have taken the decision, you know what you are doing, you take the right path, look straight and you move forward. Do not look left and right. मैंने तुझको distract मत कर दो. इधर उधर सोच के इधर उधर देख के. Once you have thought about it, once you have decided about it, take your move steadily towards it. That is what it says. The principle 9, know the order of things and work the order. That is, know your priorities. You seek for clarity, seek for what you are practicing. Because order is important. So when a leader understands the order of things, the things become more easier to understand. So in Matthew 6:33, Jesus gave his follower a powerful principle to follow. Jesus said, but seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. The first three words of this verse are very instructive. Those words are first, but seek first. A great principle to practice in business is to focus on the first thing. So when a leader understands the order of things, things can become easier to understand. The leader must be clear and push for clarity in all the things. So you should know the order of things. किसके बाद क्या करना है नहीं करना है, and you should be very clear about it. That means in between you don't have to change your decision. The next is principle 10. Improve your team to improve your organization. That is first the right and the best people to bring around you. Make people your top priority. Learn from everyone. Spend time with the wise member of the team. Learn faster by learning from others because you learn faster. Ask questions. Listen. Seek counseling. Help people to discover their talents. Find passionate and reliable person. So great leaders learn from others and also they learn fast. You need a team around you to inspire you and help you to build something bigger, that which you cannot do it on your own or alone. So no great leader ever has moved alone.
हाँ
So
সরে দিচ্ছি হ্যাঁ 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 সরে দিচ্ছি
in the verse it states, you are God's workmanship. You have been created to do good work that God has prepared in advance. So you have to give time, find good people around you, learn from them, listen from them, carry on. Principle 11. Do things today that will impact today and tomorrow. That is very true. That is invest wisely. Don't forget to take the wrong decision. Make the right investment to help the business grow. Invest in your people. Invest to grow your commitment, your passion, and all these things. Now, the principle that has shaped many business and the business leader in Matthew 6.2, Matthew states that where your treasure is, there is where your heart will be. जहाँ treasure है, जहाँ तुम जिसको बहुत मूल्यवान समझते हो, तुम्हारा दिल वहीं पड़ा रहता है. So, accordingly, you should do it. Therefore, a leader must make investment wisely. The leaders in business are called upon to make many investment. उनको बहुत investment करना पड़ता है. So, they must make use of the resources of the company to make the right investment in the business, with the people and the infrastructure. So, when the business are invested wisely, in the business will grow. Good investment sets the direction and the path of the business to ensure that it will grow and develop. And if a business is neglected, it will fall, it will shrink, it will die. That is what it says. The last one is the work to well done. That is, excellent work is worthy work. Do everything for a bigger purpose and for a noble cause. Be innovative. Always improve and strive to make the product and the services better and better. Always upgrade and improve. Think long term. Think it eternally. Or show your value through your product that are of high quality. Because if your values are high, you will put your effort and naturally your product will be of a high quality. So the Paul writes these critical words. He says that whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human master. And दिल से करो. जब when you pray to God, when you ask God something, एकदम दिल से करते हो, दिल से मांगते हो. That is with all your heart, working for the Lord, as if you are working for God and not for human masters. And the 24 says, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the God as a reward, It is the Lord Christ you are serving. करोगे उसका फल अच्छा मिलेगा. That is what it says. That is, when you work toward excellence is everything, you are on your way to hear from everyone that well done. Even God will say, your employer will say, customers will say, employees will say, everyone. So we say that excellent work is eternal work. Okay. So here we stop today. So you go through it and you have to remember all these things because question comes. This part you have to remember on your own. You can write the basic things, but in the Bible, where it is said, in the Quran or whatever it is, where it is said, these are the things you have to remember. So this part, what you are learning from the our sacred or the religious books, these things little bit you have to remember the points. So today we end here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope it's
Thank
clear.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a good,
Thank
have a
you.
good day.
ম্যাম প্লিজ একটু
Okay,
নোটস
ma'am.
গুলো প্রোভাইড
Thank you,
করে
ma'am.
দেবেন।
Notes. রাখ।
ম্যাম নেই।
হ্যাঁ, চলে গেছে।
মেরে নেই।
আর বেঁচে নেই। ডুমন্ত।
আমি নোটসের কথা বলতে গেলাম ম্যাম নেই।
450 MB খরচা হয়েছে।
ভাই আমি এবার স্নান করি খাই আরো ক্লাস আছে।
আর সন্ধ্যা
ইন্দ্রাণী
পর।
ম্যামকে একটু পার্সোনাল মেসেজ করে বলে দে নোটস দিতে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ দাঁড়া দাঁড়া বলে দেবো এখন না মাথা খেয়ে দিবে নাহলে।
চল রাখ বাবা, আর খাচ্ছি না, খিদে পেয়েছে।
চল টাটা।